Welcome to the Localization Podcast, powered by the Nigerian Local Coalition Accelerator. I still remain your host, Nimrod Grace. So today we'll be looking at NLCA's work in different thematic areas. They have actively been working in health, climate change, and education. We want to look at how all of these sectors are integrated and intersecting the community's need. We have an expert who will be running us through all of this today, in person of Miss Madam Loretta Charles. Thank you for joining me here today, ma'am.
You're welcome.
The NLCI have been working across health, climate change, and livelihood. Now, talking about integration, how do you integrate health considerations in climate interventions when engaging with the communities? And what do you think are some of the impact this approach has actually yielded?
Thank you very much. It is said that health is wealth. Though we worked under education, climate change, in the first Joint Action Plan and the second, JEP 1 and 2,
Yes, ma'am.
we tried as much as possible to integrate these sectors to make sure that we work in line with each other, especially at the time of emergency response that we did. So you find out that some of these health emergencies, for example, during the flood,
Yeah.
you can see that there's no how you can do climate change actions there without health. There's always health emergencies that will come to respond to flood issues. So we try as much as possible. In as much as we are working in climate change and education, we also integrate health and the same communities that we are working. So the best is that we try to integrate our three focus areas with same community. It makes it more pronounced so that they will know that NLCA is not just focusing in one sector, but we're working in other sectors when we do that.
Okay, thank you very much, ma. So in your view now, what do you think are some of the practical steps that are needed to strengthen health system so they can better respond to the overlapping challenges? Like you said, there are challenges of health, of climate change, even with the flooding that occurred last year. What are some of, how can they now health this thing can be strengthened to overlap these challenges of climate change?
Okay, so the issue is bringing in the community, making every activity we do, especially with the facilities, community-led. We'll try to build their capacity to know that these things can be integrated. We'll try to make them to know that in as much as we're talking about climate change, their health is also important. So that when there are issues of climate change, we can integrate health activities with same stakeholders, same community, and ensure that all the bridges in health, education, and climate change is being tackled.
Okay. The Drug Revolving Fund has been highlighted as one of the key interventions of the Nigerian Local Coalition Accelerator. Could you just explain how this operates? How does the Drug Revolving Fund operate?
I would say that I think one of the best activities or sustainable activity that was handled by the health sector is the revolving fund. First, let me just highlight on the revolving fund. So the drug revolving fund is a financing system or mechanism that was brought into the health sector years ago, and I think it's one of the most sustainable strategy that has come into the Nigerian health system. So this system brings in the government. I think it started with the government, where government invests some funds to some facilities, and sometimes they buy these drugs, and when they give it for free, after a while it finishes and they start again. You start having complaints of inadequate drug in the facility and so on. So this drug revolving fund is a strategy to sustain availability of commodities in the facility so that people that access the facility will be able to have medicines and whatsoever they need to tackle the health system. So what happens is that The government it was started with the government, and with time, partners started, seeing it that is a good sustainability plan. So they donate some drugs or money or finance to the facility which they use to purchase drug and sell it in a very low cost to the people. So with that, after selling, they still go back. The money keep revolving. So it doesn't stop. Unless the facility is not transparent to themselves, it's meant to start to be revolving and be increasing gradually. But you don't really increase the price. You just add a little to whatsoever so that the community will be able to afford it. That is the revolving fund.
So are you saying even if NLCA pulls out from this intervention, the community can be able to handle this whole on its own?
Because that is why I'm saying that the facility, the community, they have to be transparent, they have to be accountable. Since that funding is there, it's not that's a donation, that's a contribution that we have made to the facility is not meant to die. It's meant to continue. But let them work. The issue is the facility working with the community. And thank God that we worked directly with the community stakeholders. Once they are away, they have to follow up with the facility to ensure that these drugs are revolving as planned. Sincerely, the facility workers are supposed to be updating the community. We have gotten this is what we sold, and we got this. We are going back to buy. That is what it's supposed to be. That is community-led and community acceptability and contribution to themselves.
I like that this initiative is actually sustainable. So before we wrap up, we'd like to hear from the community how this revolving works for them. How are they managing it?
Mun samu kari sosai a wani asibiti tun lokacin da NLCA nan sun fara mana kawo magunguna nan, mun ga ci gaba sosai. Lokacin da aka kawo magani zuwa nan asibiti nan, mutanen gari gabaki ɗaya su rikice suka ce wani organization ne wani mutane sun kawo muku magani haka domin kira kwamiti na village da na wannan su zo su gan abin da wayannan NLCA nan suka yi mana. So gaskiya ya taimaka mana sosai, muna samun ci gaba ta wurin kiran da suke mana. Wani lokaci ma su kira mu je mu yi workshop su gaya mana abin da muke bukata wanda muke so su yi mana a cikin community, mu je mu sara musu, kuma a haka ɗin sai su yi, ba sa kin yi, sai su yi abin da mu muka faɗa cewa muna so a yi mana a community. Gaskiya NLCA ne sun taimaka ma mutane sosai ta wurin maganin da kuke kawowa. Muna ba ma mutane wanda ba su da karfi ma mukan ba su magani, wanda mun ga yana da ɗan karfi kuma ba magani ba za mu caje su sosai ba ma, ɗan kaɗan saboda drug revolving fund da muke yi domin mu ga asibiti ɗin ya ci gaba. Shine burin mu akan in suka samu wani hali NLCA nan su taimaka ma asibitin mu nan, abin da muke bukata daga wurin su. Kwanakin baya kuma aka sake kiran mu, NLCA suka kira mu zuwa workshop muka je, suka koya mana yadda za mu yi Tom Brown, za mu zo mu yi shi, mu yi demonstration kuma a community namu, saboda yara su samu karfin jikunansu, kuma yana a boosting immunity na yara, saboda iyaye ma ba san ya ake yin wannan Tom Brown ba. Saboda haka shine suka kira mu, suka koya mana yadda za mu zo mu yi Tom Brown nan, mu kira mataye da yaransu su zo a yi, kowa ya gani. Kai, ko da ba iya an ba su ko da abun yi ɗin ba, su ɗin za su iya su je gida su saya, su yi ma yaransu domin ginawan jikin yaransu. Saboda haka an koya mana yadda za a yi, za a haɗa dawa da soya beans da gyaɗa da maiwa, duka za a tattaɓa su, da za a soya su dai da wuta kaɗan dai, a tattaɓa su da wuta, a haɗa su gaba ɗaya a je a nika, a zo a yi kunuɗi. In an yi kunuɗin kuma ba za a yi shi da shuga ko da wani abu ba, shi wancan kunuɗi ne ma ya isa ya gina jikin yaro. Saboda haka an babu kayayyaki, mun je mun ɗauka, mun kawo, mun zo mun yi koya ma mutane, har wai suka tafi da gari zuwa gida, akan za su je su ci gaba da yi ba yaransu da shi ta wurin mutane a unguwa suna zuwa kuma suna benefiting daga abubuwan da suka yi mana. Za ku shiga ga abun da NSCA suka tanada mana muna da su syrup na yara na septrin, muna da omeprazole namu, muna da cetirizine namu, duka nan da su cipro duka da su paracetamol duka muna da shi. Ni kiran da zan yi musu da babban murya shine su ba da goyon bayan su domin NNCA nan sun yi kokarin karfin su gan cewa sun gan community ba su sha wahala ba, sun ga community suna ci gaba, sun ga community suna samun duk abun da ya kamata su samu. Saboda haka su haɗa kai da NNCA nan su yi abun da community za su ji daɗi su rubato daga ciki. Sannan in sun ma ko sun zo sun tafi ma community in har yanzu za su ce wane da wane su ne suka yi mana wannan abu. Kamar yadda suna faɗa yau LSA nan sun yi musu abun da sun gani. Saboda haka muna kira ga su haɗa kai da ku NNCA nan su tabbatar cewa abu ya ci gaba a cikin community namu.
So just to wrap up quickly, ma, I would like for you to tell me what, aside the NLC's work intervention in the health sector, what do you think other funders out there, other partners, or even the government can do to support health interventions?
Okay, thank you very much. The health sector, now, though I will applaud that it has improved, but more needs to be done for better delivery of services to the immediate communities. And one of them is inadequate health workers across the state and nationwide, I would say. Most of these health workers are not residing in the immediate communities, making it difficult for them to deliver 24-hour services in these facilities. And some of these communities we visit, mostly they need this facility more during the delivery. And most of the women complain that, when this comes at night, there's nobody in the facility to attend to them. So we need more health workers, more stationed in the facility, and immediate community members. We're not saying you should just employ them. They should be qualified, but they should be considered first during the recruitment so that they have somebody there, can be there with them, with his or her community. Then the services will be better.
Thank you very much, ma. So, in other words, you're saying collective impact is actually what will drive and sustain this intervention.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for staying true with us, ma. And to our viewers, thank you for watching. I would like for you to comment, share, and like all our social media platforms. And I would like you to drop in the comment section what stood out for you during this section. What do you think can be done strongly to support health intervention, not just health interventions, now across other sectors? How can all these be integrated to have a collective impact? Thank you. See you next time.